The leads are not taking center stage in some of these activities like a presentation and that kind of thing. Because the captain can actually, if one of you is ready, can actually relegate the role. So I think maybe if there is a lady who is ready to do the presentation, the captain is going to be very happy handing over the task. Please. Karibu. Please. Yani ndio cooperative, yani kwamba.
But excuse me, we are here to learn.
Yeah, of course.
Because I know that there are some people, because they already lost their marks, they will be here in order to criticize us. So let us make a precaution. So
you think Nurat cannot do the job?
She can.
I don't think if because to the other groups, the team leaders presented. So it would be better if our team leader would present it.
Oh, if that's all. Come. Karibu. We just wanted to create a gender balance, but if you think...
To represent group number 3, known as Manchester United. Yes. As you see, this is a workshop. Today is Saturday, and the date of today is 10th of February 2018. So this is our summary about the presentation there. Number 1, tell us we were prepare rooms before of learning. Before to enter in this room, we prepare our environment in this class, and then we started to introduce ourselves one by one, introduce his or herself. After that, the facilitator gave us paper for attendance. You gave us, I saw you there that time, you gave us attendance in order to sign and then to write numbers, phone numbers in order to maybe you can add us in your WhatsApp group, I don't know. And then facilitator gave us identity cards in order to somebody can know what's one man or can know someone, no problem. And then the learning process started. Here there are some activities we learned here. The first one was express the meaning of energize. As you see me, I represent there the presentation, and then I open our seminar or our workshop by clapping the hands. Even you didn't give me any gift about that.
You didn't get one?
Yeah, I didn't get it. So I think you will
Omar,
after that.
1 point.
Thank you. That's 1 point. Okay.
Thank you.
And then to express the meaning of games and gamification. Excuse me. We explain. We see the videos there in front. You open the videos, and then those activities you performed it. It is no need for writing here, because I started to write it. The learning process started. Because when you say learning process started, it means all activities performed in this meeting or seminar. It is. I put all activities in this learning process. Clear? Yeah. So the issue of making group or forming groups are there. All are learning activities. My presentation is over. Subhanallah.
I can see some hands, and let us give the lady the first choice. Please stand up.
Thank you, Sir Haridi. But one thing, you have done a mistake. I think so. Yes, that's the other point you have said that it's enter in the point number 5. The another sub point there to express the meaning and other things. But I think that's what I call the summary. It needs each and everything to be there. So, as you see the other group there, they have done it. Because once someone has come here and you want to see is your summary, I think you will confuse him or her. Because when you look your points, it's good, but there are few, 0.5 only. it's better
Some
to write.
things are missing.
Yes, some other things is missing there. So it's better when someone is told you to write a summary, you should write each and everything that's happened. Thank you a lot.
Summarize each and every. Good.
Thank you.
Shobari want 1 point. Good.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, I am a member of group number 3. Why we have decided to write this one? Because one among the setback which caused us to write few points was time. For us, we see that the time was.
You have a lot of points.
So you guys are admitting that you are slow. No, I'm just joking. No, you are not slow. Indeed, there is a time management is always a problem. For some of us, managing time becomes a bit awkward, and it's a common thing across almost each and everybody. So you don't have to worry. Yeah. But actually, what Zenabwe said, I think you should take note that when you are told to summarize, you should try actually, even yourself later on, when you take that piece of paper, you remember each and everything. But sometimes when you write like this, 2-3 days down the road, and you cannot actually remember what has taken place after number 5.
But we wrote all.
Start struggling.
But we wrote all.
Cannot.
So,
Was like that of Madam Zainab.
okay. All right.
There's no direction. Point number.
Okay. So, Nurat, you want to say something?
Yeah, I would like to add something there.
You can stand up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay.
You know why we failed to write those points of learning process started? Because there, at the first time, sorry sir, can you open the first paper? Yeah. We thought that this was terminal, so we started to write over there. But then you came and tell us that this was not terminal. So it took time to open the paper, then to restart again like this.
Very nice point.
Give 3 points to group number 3.
Group number 3.
Group number 3, 3 points. And I want to add something to all of us that actually we are not challenging anybody, and we should avoid actually those kind of words when we are giving feedback. Words like I'm challenging this, you made a mistake there. Those are not words which are encouraged nowadays. We use what we call constructive feedback. You can actually tell someone that you have forgotten to add this and this and this without telling him that you made a mistake. For example, you can say, in my opinion, number 5 could be broken down into several points. And they give a few examples. Actually, we have corrected him, but we have avoided the negativity which comes from telling someone you made a mistake. I'm challenging you. We don't like those kind of words. And we should try as much as, even our students in the class, try not to point to their mistakes with a direct language like that. Use words which have some positive connotation, but at the same time saves the task of correcting the problem you have observed, okay? You understand? Hata mke wako. We are back to the facilitation. As you remember, before we went to the break, we did some components on gamification, so we are going to continue with the other components of gamification. But before anything else, please stand up. Please stand up, stand up, stand up. Ha ha, stand up. Half a minute, we energize, we sit down, we continue. Before we went to the break, we wanted to suggest an energizer. So please, if you still remember the energizer, come ahead and present it to us.
The meaning or what?
No. We want an energizer
Okay.
for half a minute before we continue.
Okay. Boys, if I do this, you are clapping once, male, and female. If I do this, you are clapping. But if I join together, you are clapping together. Okay, let me start.
Yeah, no. I have understood. You have understood the instructions. Repeat the instructions.
As I say that, if I do this, male, you can clap. And the woman or female, if I do this, it is your time. This is your hand and this is your hand. So if I do this, you clap. If I do this, you clap.
One clap.
One clap, yeah.
And if you do both?
If I do both, you are clapping both.
Both claps, males and females.
Yeah, of course.
But the right hand side, only males.
Yeah.
The left, only females.
Sharp.
Okay,
Let me start.
let us do it.
Okay.
Thank you, very good. 1 point. Mr. Mari, 1 point. And you can now sit down. You can now sit down. So, before we went to the break, we tried to define what a game is. Most of us got close, but we didn't get to the actual definition of what a game is. So this more or less is the official definition of what a game is. A game is a system that engages participants in a challenge, but it is defined by rules. A game has to have rules. Has to have interactivity, interaction. You cannot have a single player game. A game must have interaction. And the game must also give feedback. You know what a feedback is? Mrejesho. What kind of feedback can you get from a football game, for example? What kind of a feedback you can get from a football game, please? Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
How is that occur during the pain?
I'm asking, what kind of feedback can you receive from a football game?
The feedback and also from the football games.
What kind of feedback you can get from the feedback, from the game?
Games. Maybe in football, I'll check the goals scored by each team. Maybe one win or defeated or draw.
So what does it tell you? Because the feedback is the information you receive about yourself, about your performance. What does it tell you?
I repeat it.
The feedback is the information which comes from the other side to you, telling you something, maybe about yourself, or about the match, about the referee, whatever.
Okay, maybe my team wins, I'll be happy. If lose, I'll be sad.
Maybe that is it's not exactly how I wanted it, but Omari, let us have some 1 point.
Even me, I can say in my side, in the football match, it is entertaining for me. Yes. The feedback, it means I'll be
1 point for.
It's just for entertainment for me.
That is the feedback you receive.
Feedback about
That you are excited.
yeah, of course.
Okay, let me help. Give 1 point there. 1 point. One feedback you can get from a football game is that maybe your coach is not good enough. Maybe a certain player, midfield, goalkeeper, whatever, is not good enough. Maybe your preparation for the match was not good enough. Those are the kind of feedback you can receive from a football match or a football game. Okay? You understand now? So basically this is the definition of what a game is. We have games and we have serious games. A serious game is a game designed for a purpose beyond pure entertainment. Most of the games you know about are concerned with entertainment, that's all. If you go to a football match, it's about entertainment. If you go to a boxing match, it's about entertainment. If you go to car racing, it is about entertainment. But there are certain games which their purpose is beyond pure entertainment. You aim at something else apart from entertainment. This one is called a serious, a what? A what? A serious game. A what? A what? A what? A what? A serious game. So, what is gamification in learning? Gamification in learning is the process of transforming typical academic components into gaming themes. Can you give me an example of an academic component or an academic piece? Zainab, can you give me an example of an academic piece? You don't have to write because actually I'll give you this presentation at the end of the, not necessarily today, but even tomorrow. That is why I asked you for your sub numbers. Because I'm going to create a group, and in the group I'm going to put the whole presentation there. Therefore, you can just relax and concentrate. You don't have to write. I'm asking this question. Can anyone tell me what an academic component is, or an academic piece is? We are all teachers, we are teaching academics. So can you tell me what an academic component is? So we can relate to what the definition there is all about. For example, one academic component is when you are teaching about the boundaries in the geography lesson. You are teaching about the boundaries of a country called the United Republic of Tanzania, right? The component there is the boundaries. That is the academic component you are teaching at that particular moment. Now the question is, how do you gamify it so it can fit into that definition? Because we are told the process of transforming that academic component into a gaming theme. That you are a climber, you have introduced a game into it, and you can actually feel the excitement, because you can go to the town and start looking for the gear, researching, that kind of thing. You understand me? You understand me? Yes. Do you understand me? Yes. Good. Very good. Some hands for ourselves, please. to answer this question before, and a number of answers were put forth, but actually these are more kind of official answers. Why do you want to gamify geography? Why do you want to gamify chemistry? Why do you want to gamify biology? These are the official answers that when students engage in a subject but the environment is gamified, they feel more ownership of their learning than when a teacher stands in front of the class like me and starts lecturing. Going back to the example of Mount Kilimanjaro, when I told you that to pretend that you are the climbers, prepare for the trip to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, the actual preparation, moving around looking for the kind of gears you might need, you already own, you have the feeling that you are owning that learning about the Mount Kilimanjaro. Can you see it that way? Hello? You can't see it. That a student, when is learning through a gamified environment, feels that he owns the learning. Rather than the learning belonging to the teacher, now it belongs to him. That is why I told that, let us go back to the example of Mount Kilimanjaro. You are the learners. Now I have transformed you from being learners to climbers. Now I'm telling you, prepare for the trip to climb to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. That is your assignment. So go out there, discuss what do I need if you want to go to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. You find out what you need. Where are the shops where I can buy these items? That is the preparation. Through doing the preparations, you feel that you own the process of learning that particular subject, that particular component. Rather than if a teacher stood in front of the class and just lectured you. You understand now? Good. Students also feel more relaxed. There is a more relaxed atmosphere in regard of failure, since in a game or in a gamified learning component, actually there is no failure. There is repetition. When you don't get something right, we don't say it is a failure. We didn't get it right for the first time. Now we know that this path won't get me to the right or to the correct product. Therefore, I have to change the path. Therefore, through that, you keep on learning. Thomas Edison, the guy who invented the electric bulb, did it, I think, more than 2,000 times before was able to get an electric bulb which was functioning. More than 1,900 times he did not get it right. And one guy told Edison that you failed more than 2,000 times. Edison said, no, I didn't fail more than 2,000 times. I discovered more than 2,000 times in which you cannot make an electric bulb. So you see how he put it? He didn't consider those as failures. He considered them as discoveries. But those discoveries were not a path which could which could lead you to make the electrical bulb. Therefore, in a gamified environment, the word failure is not there, but you cannot get something right, maybe the first time, the second time, the third time you try, the fourth, until you get it right. Therefore, all those are experiences which you accumulate here, and they make you a better learner that way. But also, games has more fun. Games has more fun. my act of giving you experience points, 1, 2, 3, is also a game, you know. In a game, you can give those experience cards, you can give trophies, you can give different kind of rewards while the lesson is going on. Those are also game elements. I can say they were fun. The experience cards have been handy around. They were fun because at a certain point I could see people laughing, enjoying, receiving the card, that kind of thing. So in a game which is happening in the classroom, the atmosphere is also transformed and becomes more fun. And then learning becomes visible through progress indicators. There are some guys who has received 2 points. There are groups which received 3 points. You can see that although initially we started with 0 level, each and every one of us, we made some progress through the game of cards. Because now I can count my cards. 1, 2, 3. Oh, at the end of the day, there, I have 10 points. You have made progress. That is why we say learning becomes visible through progress indicators. Those cards are progress indicators. They indicate that you have made some progress. Good. So we gamify learning because we want this to happen to our students in the classroom or to happen to our pupils inside the classroom. These are additional points why we gamify by creating a game. Even some lazy student who was not very susceptible to learning might find interest in learning. But sometimes games, we do some acts during a class or modeling. For example, I want to, let's say, we are doing a civics class and we want to learn how the parliament function. We can create a play inside the class. We elect the speaker, the deputy speaker, the chief whip, the members of parliament, and the ministers, because all these are the characters which are found inside the parliament building. Some of us are going to enjoy being ministers. Some are going to enjoy being just a plain member of parliament because they'll be able to throw stones at the ministers. Some will enjoy temporarily being the speaker of the parliament. Those are called the characters or the avatars. So when we try to enact that is an exploration of the various roles or characters which are being played out inside the parliament building. But finally, students are more comfortable in a gaming environment. Who is not comfortable? We have said games are fun. Games translate, move us away from the traditional tiring learning environment to a new exciting environment, entertaining. So automatically, of course, the students are more comfortable in gaming environments because they are entertaining. To gamify learning, stand up and read the first line there.
Question
Yes. Loudly, please, so everybody can hear you.
There are three main ways of gamifying learning. These are:
One.
number one, adapting grades.
Okay, sit down. Who wants to read number 2? Who wants to read number 2? Give 2 points there. 2 points. Number 2, please. Who wants to read number 2? Please.
Changing the classroom language.
Changing.
The classroom language.
Number 2. Number 2 points there. Who wants to read the final line?
Modifying the structure of the class.
Modify the structure of the class. 2 points, please. And for those who got points, please clap for them. Again. Again. Good. Okay. Can anyone tell me what adapting grades means? Can anyone tell me what adapting grades means? I want to remind you of how we reward. An attempt gets 1 point. An intelligent guess gets 2 points. A correct answer gets 3 points. So now, who can tell me what adapting grades means? Please try.
As I can say from my side, when I say adapting grades, is how to divide the learners in that games. Maybe this one can know how to play in this position. You can put that one.
It was a nice try, so he earns 1 point. Who else? The same question. Who else? The same question. Who wants to attempt to tell me what adapting grades means? Nobody wants to tell. Oh, good. Wa alaikum salam. Can you stand up so that you improve your blood circulation?
Adapting grades, I can say that to divide the learners in different grades. Example, because sometimes they are several different games. So sometimes it will be they differ the games that they can practice in nurseries there, and others the grade 1, grade 2 up to grade 7. So adapting grades means to divide them according to their level.
1 point. 1 point. Who else? Oh, let us do it like this. Award all of them 1 point, so we can continue. Everybody gets 1 point, and then we continue. You get 1 point because I can see you all wanted to attempt, which is very good, right? Good. So each and every one of you gets 1 point, you continue.
All of them 1 point.
1 point. Well, apart from those who have gotten earlier, those who have not yet attempted, that number 1 gets 1 point.
For those who tried this number 1, you guys have
1 point for everyone for wanting to attempt. And now, let me say what adapting grade is. We usually use the letter grades A, B, C, D, E, F, right? We normally use the letter grades A, B, C, D, E, F. The drawback about using the letter grades is the possibility of discouraging a learner, making him or her believe that he is worthless because always she or he is getting a D or an E or an F. We want something which is more positive, which can point the learners in the right direction, which can show them that they are making progress, regardless how slow that the progress is, but they are making progress. So instead of using the letter grades, we devise a different system of grading. That is why we use the word adapting. For example, we can use what they call the staircase system of grading. Actually, is a system which shows that you have climbed one level, you have gone to the second level, you have gone to the third level, the fourth level, like the one I'm using here right now. These points I'm giving you, it's not a game just for fun. It's a way of showing that there is some progress being made. At the end of the day, each one of us is going to total up his points or her points and actually see how far the journey was for him or for her concerning this today's lesson. You understand me? You get the point? Why do we want to adapt grades? The system we are using now, of all of us starting at zero level and slowly making progress, most of the time is cooperative. If you remember, we are operating as individuals, but at the same time we are operating as groups. Sometimes a group task benefits not sometimes, all the time, the group task benefits each and every individual. Why? Because you share the points. Those who are much brighter will tend to cooperate and have those who are a bit slow, so that the whole group can earn a much bigger point, right? Umeelewa? I want you to, the lady with the Majuba is going to be a bit of a problem. You don't have to do this. Instead, you can just raise your hands up, down, up and down, up and down. But the males, I want you to do some squats. You know what squats are? Yes. First squats, you go down, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go, you do. I want the blood to circulate, so don't go to sleep. Okay? So, at the count of 3, we start. Ladies, wanaumes, sawa. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I start again. At the count of 3, you ladies hands here. The men, you go down. Higher. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Share vipi? Captain, vipi bwana? The point was sometimes when you sit down for so long, the blood does not circulate as well as it is intended to circulate, and you get what they call inflammation, sometimes cramps. So we need to every half an hour to do an activity which will make sure that our blood circulates and keep our bodies and minds clear and fine. So you can sit down. I have given the example of adapting grades. This is what happens when we adapt grades. We replace those grades by a game, such as a climb on the ladder of experience to gain experience points. Yani hapa badala ya kusema A, B, C, D, pointi moja, pointi mbili, pointi tatu, hiyo ni kama ngazi yani. Pata pointi moja umepanda ngazi moja, umepata pointi mbili umepanda ngazi ya pili, pointi ya tatu ngazi ya tatu na kuendelea. Mwisho wa siku umemake progress. Umecheza na kamchezo ndani yake. Kinaitwa ku change the classroom language. Yani instead of using the common terminology, we adapt different words. They make us, they are new, they are attractive, they are more appealing. So instead of saying, completing an assignment, for example, you say embarking on a quest. You know what a quest is? You know what a quest is? Who can tell us what a quest is? You know what a quest is? Kama adventure fulani hivi, sawa? Yani ile assignment nimechukulia kama adventure fulani hivi, kwamba mimi hizi hesabu nitakufa nazo. Maana huwezi kufa na hesabu bana unless you turn it into an adventure. Adventure is something you go into, don't know the risks, but it's very exciting. So turn it into an adventure, into a quest. This is why we say, instead of saying I'll complete the assignment, we say I will embark on a quest. Instead of saying a test, we can use the word challenge. Because the test is something which ends up in the classroom on top of your desk. But a challenge is something which is much wider, much beyond your immediate environment. Therefore, we might transform the language there. Instead of saying a test, we say a challenge. We could also use class levels. When kusema darasa la pili, la tatu, la nne, we could use the word learning milestones. You know what a milestone is? You know what a milestone is? If you go along a main road, there is a hand there. Please. Stand up, stand up, stand up.
When you say milestones, when you go up and those, what can I call them? Vile vibao vinavyoonyesha umbali kutoka from one point to another point. Those, I don't know what can I call them, but vile vinavyoonyesha umbali. So what we mean by
they have understood you. In a road, there is always some signs. Normally those signs, what? Yeah, 3 points. Yes. There are those signs along the roads, especially those highways, which shows that, and they are mostly made of stone or concrete. That's why they are called stone milestone. And they are markers for the distance covered, 50 miles. After traveling for some other time, 80 miles. Now you know that since I left my starting point up to here, it's 80 miles now. And it will go like that up to the end of your journey. So they are the milestones. So if you want an artistic language, instead of the language we are used to, we might transfer from saying class levels to learning milestone. Darasa la kwanza kwenda la pili ni milestone ameifikia ile. Anahama milestone ile 50 kilometers anaenda juu yake. Akifika la pili kuingia la tatu ni milestone nyingine na kadhalika na kadhalika. Kwa hiyo this is the way we gamify the language in the class. I'll give you an example. For example, you are teaching the subject of geography. You might divide your students and give them, assign them ships and give them the title of explorers and tell them that you group A, you are going to explore America. Group 2, you are going to explore India. Group 3, you are going to explore Australia. And after 1 month, I want the result of your exploration. So from that moment, you are no longer students, you are explorers. And you are being given an assignment to go to India, to Australia, to America and explore. So we have gamified the language of the class there. You get the point? You understand the point? Do you understand the point? Yes. Good. So those are the examples of how we can gamify the language. Just go through the examples and I think you'll be able to see how clear so why do we, at the end of the day, okay, we have defined what gamification is, right? Sindio jamani? We have defined, we have said what gamification is, right? Tried to say or to explain or to understand why we gamify, right? Now finally, we want now to see the impact of gamification. Umedefine gamification nini? Ukasema una gamify ili iweje? Mwisho wa siku we need the impact. Otherwise haina maana yote. So what is the impact of gamification? Hamtaki hata point. Nyosheni vidole. You don't want points? Oh, Lord. The hands I'm going to count actually are the one who wants the points. Therefore, I'm going to start now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. Omari, moja moja. For those who raise their hands. Zimeisha?
Because when you gamify a lesson, that means a pupil or a student is participating in that game. Then after that, he or she can act, can try it at home, or after the lesson, he or she can try it.
The student to do gamification, to me that they have what changes they have made from gamification. Either they have changed the behavior from this side, or they have enjoyed very well, or this way is very friendly to the students. So that's the feedback what they have got after to do gamification.
3 points. 3 points. And some clapping. All of us together. Again. Again. Good.
They can make the things that you have already told them. So through that activity, you get them. It means they can make something about it at home, even at homes, even in the environment. They can make that thing.
Give him 2 points.
2 points.
2 points.
Creativity. So the gamification, it helps the student to be more creative because after a lesson, can practice themselves to do a things or to create anything which relates on the lesson there.
Good. 2 points. Skill building. Skill building. One of the impact of gamification is skill building. Can you tell me why? How? How do we build skills through gamification?
Skill building means that when the students are practicing in gamification, it means that they get knowledge about it, something that is unified. Either they are get
knowledge acquisition is the last one. I'm talking about the skill building.
Skill building. I have said that when the students are practicing gamification, it means that they get some skills on how to do something. Either they have got a skill on how to play, or either PDS on how to play football through following the techniques and the rules on how to play football. Either they build their skills to
Omari, 1 point. Again. Thank you. When you do something, there are some skills which comes along. For example, time management. No project is endless in time. Each project has a limit in time. So by doing, you know how to manage time, how to budget time. You also learn cooperation, socialization, because you are doing a task in a group. Sometimes the people who you are doing the task with, you have never worked with them before. It's the first time. But now because you are working together, you acquire social skills because you are dealing with a stranger, but you are forced to work with. So there are issues of social skills there. And of course, some knowledge skills too, some practical skills too come into play. And of course, another impact of gamification is knowledge acquisition. Yes. What are you now? Stand up. So, Mr. Hussein, after having gone through this facilitation, are you still the 100% teacher you were before you have changed somehow?
Myself, after this facilitation, what can I say is I'm no longer a teacher, but a facilitator.
A facilitator. A facilitator. A facilitator. Who are you? No. I don't want your name. I want what you do. Are you still the teacher who was the teacher with the cane and everything, or you are now something else?
I can say, when I say I'm a complete facilitator for these few minutes from where we started.
No, you are not a complete facilitator, but somehow you are
maybe
in transition.
Somehow, but still I'm getting some confusions for example, you told us adapting grades.
Okay.
Instead of using letter grade, we can use a point like we're doing now through a class.
Okay.
Because you told us that using a letter grade, for those who maybe get A or B, and those who get D and F, those getting D and F seem as worthless compared to that. And even here, others now have 7 cards, others have maybe 1 card. How can they differ with those having
but you didn't want the cards because I told you this. If you attempt, you get 1 point, right?
Yes.
Just by putting your hand up, it means you want to attempt, you get the point. But you didn't put the hand up.
Okay, correct. But my question is...
Did you want the point?
My question is, let me ask you a question. My question is, if only by raising up a hand, I can get a point. Now at class, I'm teaching. I need to know the progress of my pupils. They're supposed to do something that can show me that there is a progress. And you told us not to grade them by using a letter, let's say A, B, and that one. So we can use it another way. But I think there is some difficulties stopping using A and B, while even from the marking system and the whole format.
If you remember, we discussed this. And we said that that is the direction now the world is moving to. It's not something which is going to take place overnight. But it's something you have to prepare ourselves for, because that is the direction the world is going. That we want now students or pupils or whatever you call them to move away from the curriculum-based way of learning to what is called experience-based way of learning. We no longer consider the learner to be something which is empty, like an empty blackboard or an empty pot of water, so you can just come in and fill the water, you can just go to the blackboard and write things. No. That learner has a lot of experiences from the environment he's interacting with. And sometimes from those environments, they are smarter in some ways compared even to us. So, and this is not for Tanzania, everywhere in the world. So actually, researchers indicate that we need to pool to get out what they know, so that they can share it with others, they can share it with us, and we can only complement. So that is not longer called the teaching, that is called the facilitation, because you facilitate what they know to come out of their minds. But in teaching, they just remain with what they know, because you just push information to them, even if they don't need the information. So we are saying the world is changing. Tanzania is not a island, is also going to change. These schools, they are not a island, they are also going to change. So the best placed schools are those with a head start. So what we are doing here now is just preparing yourself for what is coming in the years ahead. You understand me? Yes. So at the end of the day, adapting grades is going to be more important than the traditional ABCD grades. If you go to a country like Finland, they don't even, because they no longer do exams. It's an outdated way of doing things in Finland. And Finland is considered the best country in the world with the best education system. Because they keep on changing things, doing things the way they should be done. So you don't have to worry about that. You are going to slowly be transformed. But what I can say is you need to start practicing slowly becoming a facilitator. You have to know that your students also knows a lot of things, and they actually learn better when you make them to participate. You know, in the traditional way of teaching, there are students who do nothing in the class. They just sit there and listen to you. When you write, they write. But when you ask a question, they never raise their hand or anything. In short, they never participate. They can never participate unless you change the way things are done in the class. By transforming yourself from a teacher to a facilitator, they will also participate, because now you start using techniques which makes each and everybody participate. Like the grouping technique, there is no way you are not going to participate if you choose to group in 2 pairs. That you are the pair, you are the pair, you are the pair, sit down and discuss. No way you are going to sit down now and look down there while your partner wants to talk to you, you talk. So those are the techniques which makes students participate more in the learning, and actually research show that when they do participate, they learn more, and those students who are actually traditional failures, they started to improve. This guy speaks only Arabic. I don't know what I'm going to do about this, but facilitator.
Muallim.
Teacher. He is always going to remain a teacher, not a facilitator. You don't want to facilitate.
Alhamdulillah.
Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, sorry, was a facilitator. He was not a teacher. Really, he was a facilitator. That is how the Sirah shows. When you study the history of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, that is when actually the word shura came from. Consultation. Just have them there and instruct them and move out of it. But they were discussing things to get the best solution out of a situation. So Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was also a facilitator. Therefore, don't have to worry about this. You are also a facilitator.
Alhamdulillah, I've understood what you have taught us.
Yes.
That's why I can say that now I'm facilitator.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, you are a facilitator.
Mimi naitwa Abud Maulid.
Samsiala Sheikh Abud Maulid. Sheikh, mimi nakushukuru bwana. Yaani nakushukuru kuwa na sisi hapa. Kwa sababu kuna unajua nikwambie kitu. Kubadilishana ule uzoefu yani. Yaani usio ukaona hapo bwana watu jamaa walikuwa wanaongea tu Kiingereza, mimi sipata kitu. Shehe, kuna vitu umevipata huko. Kwa sababu tumebadilishana ule uzoefu, tumefanya hivi. Kwa hiyo bwana, mimi nakushukuru sana kwa kuwa na sisi. Vijana washauri hao bwana, hao bado wadogo hao. Naam Shehe.
For my side, I can say I'm a facilitator because no way out. Now it is the world of science and technology. So we must change from traditional to modern. The last I can say now, I'm a facilitator because I can continue to get knowledge.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And of course, you are also a facilitator, right?
I am a facilitator, security.
Thank you very much. Even in security, you want to facilitate. Good. And this guy is also a facilitator. Regardless. Right? You are the man from logistics.
Yeah.
Everywhere you do something, you facilitate. Even in logistics, even if you are cooking in the kitchen there's some facilitation going on.
Even at home?
Even at home, yes. So facilitator, we are all facilitators.
With my family.
Yeah, with friends. Yeah. Try not to be a teacher in any situation.
Yeah.
Try to be the guy who facilitates the discussion, make sure the discussion is going well, make sure that nobody is hurt by your presence there, that kind of thing. So we are all facilitators. Alhamdulillah. And the ladies too, you are all facilitators. Kurhum, Nurata, Aisha, Kuhla, Khadija, sorry, Zainab, we are all facilitators. Now I want you to sit down, do a final assignment. This one, at the end, we are going to count your grades and see the progress we have.
Learning become visible.
Jamani, dakika tano, msicheke, dakika tano tu inatosha. Best in what we have sold. Omari, mtu aliyepata 2.5 unaikaribisha kwenye 3 kwa anapata 3. Mtu aliyepata mathalan 2.6 atapata 0.3. Aliyepata labda 3.5 atapata 0.5. 4. Kwa hiyo results zetu ziko hivi. Kongo Islamic group ni wapi? Kwa mujibu wa wasahihishaji nimepata 2.5 out of 5. Clap the hands for them because they did. Alafu next is Manchester ambao wamepata 2.6 out of 5. Please clap the hands for them. Now the winner is Mar Radiallahu Anhu, who got 3.8 out of 5. Please give them a very 10. Okay, give them the points. Sure. Omar, they get 4 points. What will you do? Almost the last function of today is now to find out how we perform we are going to collect all the point cards in the group and count the points. And the total number of points are the one which each individual in the group has attained as well as the group.
Because you know that there are some people they have their own cards, so they can mix.
We are all combining the cards. So the sum becomes the point of the group, also the point of which individual in the group. Kwa hiyo kusanyeni hizo kadi. Sehemu moja captain atahesabu under the supervision of Mr. Tutajua grupu zima limepata point ngapi na point hizo ndo za kila mtu kwenye group. Haya, Umar radhiallahu anhu. Umepata ngapi?
Ukijumlisha na yule anaondoka futa. Ndio kwetu sote. Mbona mnasema sisi?
Nataka kuangalia hapo. Yani kwa kifupi hivi, we all started from a zero score. And after this session, we have actually moved in several levels. Toka 0 mpaka 31 ni hatua kubwa, toka 0 mpaka 40 ni hatua kubwa. Na of course kutoka 0 mpaka 53 ni hatua kubwa. Kwa hiyo nachukua fursa hii kwanza mimi kuwapongeza sana wote, mmefanya vizuri sana na hatua mliopiga ni kubwa. Tuchukulie facilitation hii, yani huwezi ukafundisha gamification ndani ya one day ukawa umetendea haki. Takiwa labda tuchukue labda 2 days hivi ndio tumekuwa tumetenda haki, na actually siku inayofuata utakuta zile improvement, yani improvement inakuwa ni kubwa zaidi. Lakini nevertheless tumefanya vizuri na I really trust that we are going to change somehow the way we interact with our students, and we also use some elements of gamification in our teaching. Not only gamification, but also energizing, because everything needs to be prepared. One of our sisters called it homework. We need to prepare the mind and the body for something as challenging as learning. So we cannot just walk outside walk inside the classroom from outside, sit down and start learning. We need to introduce some form of energizing to the kids. If it was done in the assembly, fine. But if it was not done, we should do it in the classroom to make sure that you energize those students before you start that business of learning. Use maybe 2 lines or 3 lines and make a commitment. Aseme mimi bana, baada ya kuwa nimejifunza haya nitafanya nini. Basi, please, I'm starting from my sister here, Arida. Please stand up and tell us that after all this, now what?
My name is Nadia Lemini. After learning these lessons, I will be a good facilitator.
You will put some gaming element in your class.
Yes.
Yeah. Please.
My name is Dahari Aredi. After this workshop, I will be a good facilitator.
You mean that you are going to introduce some gaming into your lessons? Yes, sir. Dala, sorry.
My name is Abdallah Shaibu. After this lesson, I hope I will be good facilitator.
You are going to use some see you are this right. And this is the logistic plan, right?
Yeah. After this lesson, I will be a good facilitator by practicing also in games.
Thank you very much. Mr. Security.
Yeah.
After this lesson, what are you going to do? Utafanya nini kwenye kazi yako ili iwe nzuri zaidi?
I'm going to be facilitator through practice, because to be facilitator it needs more practice, not for one day.
Good, thank you. And Sheikh Ali Abdullah. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
بعد هذه البرنامج سوف أكون الهدي في الفصل ليهدى طالب يفعل العمل جيد.
He's saying that he will be a facilitator.
Thank you very much. Asante sana. Shukran. And the Sheikh said, after today's
workshop, what can I say is that my pupils, first of all, are going to enjoy my lessons.
Good.
Because I will try to gain value.
Some academic components. Thank you very much.
I will try to be a facilitator.
And Habibu? Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
After this training, now I can say that I'm 0.75 facilitator. I will apply the unification in teaching process.
Thank you very much. And the last one, but not least, this one. Our machine. So, basically, we have come to the end of today's facilitation. The last action is a group photo. You get a group photo, it will be posted in the group we are going to create. And of course, through that group, I hope you become interactive, communicating, look for materials which are educational, and share the kind of thing. Because they are, as I have told you before, the best people in the world, the ones who are very successful, are those who are cooperative and sharing. Those who are operating as individuals, unfortunately, they don't fare as much as well.